What's cooking good looking? It is me, BrokeChef, and welcome back to BrokeChef's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making the most absolute beautiful breakfast you have ever seen. That will be consisting of eggs, French toast, a little bit of bacon, and some breakfast sausage. So starting off with our French toast, we're going to want to put a little bit of milk in our mixing bowl. Not too much or else it'll be too runny, but that's going to add a little bit of creaminess and tenderness to the French toast. Next, we're going to want to go ahead and crack in 3 eggs. Now that you've got your 3 eggs in there, go ahead and give it a whisk until it is all incorporated into one yellow milky liquid. Now that it's all incorporated, go ahead and add a generous amount of cinnamon, a generous amount of brown sugar. Notice I am not measuring. That is simply because I make it to taste. If you're going to add nutmeg, it's going to add a little bit of that apple pie flavor to it. But this is a very strong ingredient, so I would recommend just doing a little tiny bit, like so. And then to jazz it up a little bit, we're going to go ahead and throw in a nice little swirl of honey. And then the next step, mix it all in. There's going to be like a brown film on top from the cinnamon, brown sugar, and nutmeg. And voila, you have just made the perfect batter for your French toast. So for our next step, we are going to go ahead and cook off this yummy, delicious bacon. This is actually from a local meat locker, so it came pre-sliced up like that. We're gonna put that baby on high and we're gonna let her sizzle a little. And while this bacon is getting ready, getting heated up, on our way to cooking it, we are going to go ahead and set up our French toast pan on a little, just like a simmer, low heat, so it's nice and warm for when we do need to actually make our French toast. We can crank it up, we're ready to go, no wait time, just good, hot, fluffy French toast and bakey. Let's all just take a moment to appreciate this ever so delicious smelling, sizzling, absolutely perfect apple wood smoked bacon. Listen to that baby purr. So the reason I am sauteing this bacon is because it'll saute in its own fat, it'll keep all that amazing applewood flavor in there. But a healthy alternative that you could do with bacon, obviously with the strips or with the chunks like I have, is you could bake it at 350. It usually takes about 8 minutes with the oven fully preheated for it to get nice, crispy. If you like it burnt, obviously you can cook it longer, cook it less, but really it's to your taste. But I am sauteing it just so it keeps all that delicious fat and applewood flavor in there. Look at all that steam. Oh man, I wish you guys could smell this right now. Get you a little flippy action in there. Oh yeah. Now that we got our bacon nice and crispy, one thing you definitely want to do, a step that I forgot, is you'll want to set your oven to the lowest temperature it'll go. I've got mine to 170. That's because all of this is not going to be finished at the same time. So now that we got our bacon nice and crispy, we're going to go ahead and put this on our little sheet tray and stick it in the oven. Do not wash this pan because you're going to want to cook your sausage patties in the pan as well. That way you get a little extra flavor in those too. Now before you put your sausage patties in the bacon pan, make sure you reduce your heat just a little bit. Mine was at 6, I put it down to a 4. If you're using a gas stove, put it about halfway. And yeah, let's go ahead and kiss these in the pan. We're gonna fully saute these in the pan. That way we get all the good flavor, a nice char around the outside. And it'll be perfectly juicy on the inside. It'll be just the way you'd want it. And yeah, just let them cook on one side, flip them, let them cook on the other side, and boom, you got yourself some sausage patties. Now let's all just take one moment to enjoy this sizzle. That's how you know you're in heaven, guys. That is how you know you're in heaven. This is what each side of your patties are going to look like. Just give them a nice little flip. They're going to have the nice ring on the outside where the char is, and it's going to lock in every single juice and every single spice that is in here, and let them cook the same exact way on the other side. Now that they have been seared on both sides, it does not matter how you finish them off. I personally like to finish mine in the pan because when it comes to brown pork, you don't have to necessarily be fully well done. But since it's ground up like that, I like mine to be well done. My dad likes his well done. So that's how we're gonna do it. You can finish them in the oven, you can finish them on the grill for all, you know, just whatever you want to do. I personally am going to finish mine in the pan because it's going to add more of a char and it's going to keep that extra applewood flavor that we left in the pan from the bacon. Cooking these is exactly like cooking a cheeseburger on the grill, on the flat top, even pan searing it. You don't want to sit there and cram them down because that'll squeeze all the juice and all the flavor. So this, you'll want to just kind of let them cook, let them take their time. Remember, our bacon that we already had cooked is in the oven. It's going to stay warm. And these are going to join it afterwards while we cook our French toast and our eggs. Another side note is the sausage I'm using today is Old Folks hot and mild sausage. It's a very nice, very slightly spicy, but the reason I picked this one is because it's going to have that little bit of kick. It's got amazing flavor to it. And it's got the perfect amount of fat. So when you, the way I like to do is I like to leave it out, let it warm up just a slight little bit to get those fats nice and oily so you can form the perfect patty. Each of these patties are about 2 to 3 ounces. So just a little side note, Old Folks mild hot breakfast sausage. So you're going to want to cook your sausage very, very, very slightly undercooked to your liking. Like this has the smallest amount of pink you can believe. The reason for that is because we're going to put it back in the oven to keep it warm at 170, and that's going to still slightly cook it just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and put that down in there, and now we're ready to move on to our French toast and eggs. Once again, do not wash this pan, but get all of the grease out of it as much as you can, like just a loose falling grease. We're going to cook our eggs with a little bit of butter and that applewood with the pork sausage flavor. It'll add just a little extra side note onto those eggs and make it just a little bit better. Moving along to our French toast now, remember how we left this pan on the lowest we could? Well, that is now going to come in handy because you want to turn that up to about medium heat. And our butter is pre-melting since we left our pan on. And once you get all that butter melted, then you're ready to shine. Now for the ones who have made French toast before, this step is fairly obvious. I'm sure you know this well. But for those of you who have not made it before, you're going to want to take bread and the egg wash that we made earlier with the brown sugar, the nutmeg, the honey, milk, all the good stuff. You're going to want to go ahead and soak both sides. When I mean soak, you're going to want a lot on there. Like flip it back and forth a couple times, let it drip off into there, and then go ahead and put it down in your buttered pan. And you will do this however many pieces of French toast you need. That's obviously how many you're going to dip and put in the pan. When your French toast is about 30 seconds away from being flipped, go ahead and throw some butter in the pan that we cooked the meats in. We're going to go ahead and start cooking our eggs. We have specific orders. We need 2 sunny side up and 2 over easy. When it comes to cooking eggs, sunny side up and over easy are very, very similar. The main difference is you get the over easy egg, you get a sunny side up cooked egg, and you flip it. The yolk still stays nice and runny on the inside, it's just you don't see the yolk on the outside because you flipped it and it's upside down. I'm going to go ahead and test my hand with a fancy chef flip instead of using the safe old spatula, so here we go. Without a doubt. Okay, so this is how we are going to actually plate this breakfast. So we're going to go ahead and take one of our absolutely amazing French toasts, and we're going to go ahead, put that off to the edge of the plate. We're going to give it a nice little sprinkle of confectioner's sugar, also known as powdered sugar. And then we're going to take a little bit of this applewood bacon, and we're going to put it right smack dab on top of that. That way you get the sweet and the salty elements of all of it. And then next, we're just going to go ahead and slide our eggs onto that plate. It's okay if we're getting on the rim, this ain't no fancy plating. And then you're going to take 1 or 2 of your sausage patties, and you're going to go ahead and put it right there. And there you have it. That is the world's most amazing, beautiful, spectacular breakfast. Compliments of BrokeChef. Alright, so today I have my normal judges with me. I have my dad, and I have his girlfriend Chelsea, and we've also got our kitty cat Twinkie. Alright, so I guess just dig on in, let me know what you guys think of it.
It's really good.
We've got an approval on that side.
That's really good.
We got an approval on that side.
What did you put in there?
So I've got nutmeg, honey, cinnamon, brown sugar, milk, and feel like there was something else, but and then the egg, obviously.
The honey gives it a lot of flavor.
A lot of flavor. The bacon on there, I really like that.
You'll have to let me know what you think of the sausage too.
You like the sausage?
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to cut that part out.
What's the trick on the sausage?
Should just be delicious the way it is. Good to go?
Real good.
All right, I believe that is a pass for today. Thank you all for watching very much. Anything to say, Twinkie? I don't think Twinkie likes the camera. She's camera shy.
Fuzzy.
Kitty, want a French toast stick? Tell me, Kitty. Tell me, Kitty. Good kitty.
Who's a good Twinkie?
Twinkie? Meow. Meow. Good girl.
See, it's just a really weird meow.
Your cat keeps barking, dude.
It's so weird.
One more. Sit.
I've never seen a cat like French toast.
Good
I
girl.
have never seen a cat like French toast. That is so weird.